If you're wearing one of these to keep warm, you probably want one of these. And if you don't have one of these, you can make one of these. And if you don't have one of these and you might need one of these, maybe make one now. What's up guys, Dan here, Coalcracker Bushcraft blanket pins. We've talked about them in at least 3 videos, 2 in which we talked about the metal blanket pins, 1 we talked about using a stick and thread, now another one because it's the time of the year to do it. Now what I mean by it's the time of the year to do it, spring is sort of here. I mean, I'm still wearing literally a piece of wool because it is a cold morning here in Pennsylvania and I needed to layer up a little bit, okay? But it is spring, I think it's spring. There's like deadlines and dates. I don't go by that. I go by if it gets warm, and it has been getting warm during some days here. So with that, the sap has been flowing. There's some bud on some trees, and during that time, branches and vines are super soft and flexible and great to work with. So 'tis the season to work with all of that stuff. And the reason I bring that up is because today we're going to be making a blanket pin that if you make it now and then you just put it in your bag and forget about it for a while, by the time midsummer or late summer rolls around and next winter is like ready for heavy use, it'll be dry and sturdy and ready to go. So let's get right after it. Now if you're brand new to the channel, I better go over what a blanket pin is. So it's basically just like a brooch that holds on your wool blanket so you can work and it doesn't fall off your body, and I can do cartwheels and all that good stuff. Okay, but here's the thing with the blanket pin. Different shapes, different sizes that this thing comes in, but generally you need some type of ring, okay, and then you need a pin. And what happens with this is, I'll take it off for 1 second, on this style, you pin it first, so I'm pinning the wool blanket together because it has big weave, it's not going to hurt your blanket. I flip the ring itself over like this, and then I give it a rotation like that, and that'll hold it in place and you'll be good to go. So we're going to make a ring and we're going to make a pin. They're going to be 2 separate pieces for this project. Now the pin portion of this, okay, it's nothing overly complex, nothing overly difficult to make. You're going to get a branch that is smaller than a number 2 pencil. It could be dry or green wood, whatever you prefer, and then you're going to carve it all nice and neat into a long needle. So you're going to take your time, you're going to get to use your knife a little bit, and you're going to begin carving. I'm going to do it quick because we're on camera. I would suggest you take your time a little bit more with it. So make a really nice point, because once this thing dries out, if you keep it with the ring that we're going to be making here in a little bit, you will have yourself forever a blanket pin. So all right, we got that thing carved. I am gonna at some point, maybe I won't take the bark off. Let's leave the bark on. The back's all nice and rounded and we're good to go. Okay, so literally that quick we made the pin. Now on to the ring. Now as far as the ring goes, you're going to want to find some style of vine that is flexible. So it can't be dead, it has to be green and starting to grow again for the season. So as I walked out towards our pond, what I found was some green briars. So these work. They're just a pain because you have to sit and you got to break off all of those little spikes that just drive us all so crazy while we're out. But a good test is you just grab the vine and you should be able to bend it. Now it's like sort of popping a little bit, but I know it's green, so I'd have to sit and just work it and get that I can make a circle out. But those things drive me crazy. But I also found some of this vine, some of this vine. Don't grab poison ivy vine like while you're out there, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to see what I got going on. You can see this just keeps on going. So I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to cut some of this vine here. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take our time, because if you bend this sometimes too fast, all right, especially on a colder day like today, you can break it. So I'm just going to take my time, and I'm going to ultimately, which I don't want to bore you to death, I'm going to show you and I'll show when it's done. We're going to create a circle. Now this circle's way too big. You want to create something that like the size of a soda can. That's going to be about best. And then what you're going to do is once you come back around, you're just going to start to weave this around itself. So it looks like this, okay? You see that weave? All right, so I'm gonna sit, I'm gonna take my time bending, getting that nice tight circle, and then working the rest of it back around until I have a woven ring. It's gonna be nice. You can see what my woven ring is starting to look like. Now there's a couple heavier creases, so that's like a heavier bend in my opinion on this. So I'm gonna just work those out as I'm sitting around here. But as you can see, this is generally what we're looking for. So a woven ring, okay, that thing's gonna be super strong. I'm gonna take my knife now. There's a couple little spots on here where there were like offshoot little vines growing that are a little bit sharp, so I'm gonna clean them up. And then the end piece, I'm gonna try to just tuck back into itself to clean that up. If you have a thicker end piece like this, just trim it off. So I took my other blanket pin off. Here's how this is gonna work. What I'm gonna do is keep my pin handy. I'm gonna take my blanket and I am going to pull some of that through, okay, my ring that I made. Now I'm gonna take my pin and I'm gonna just pin it through the blanket. Just like that. And now, my friends, that is an off the landscape blanket pin. Easy and fun, a great project for this weekend for everybody to get out, enjoy nature, look around, explore a little bit, and make something nice. So once you make these, let them dry out. They're gonna be nice and solid by next winter. But like you saw, I just used it right now. You'll be good right away with it. So if you enjoyed this video with the blanket pin, hit like and subscribe below. Also, you can check us out at Coalcracker Bushcraft for all our gear. And if you want one of those metal blanket pins, we do have hand forged ones on our site. They're nice, really great piece of kit. And I think that's it. All right, so get out this weekend, and until next video, stay in the woods.